I never thought I'd sign eviction papers with my own daughter's name on them. But there I was, pen in hand, the notary's stamp hitting the page like a gavel in a courtroom I'd built myself. The villa, my blood, sweat, and Silicon Valley stock options poured into its stucco walls, had become a battlefield, and I was done playing nice. What started as a gift to heal old wounds ended with me drawing the line in the sand, wondering if love ever really forgives. It was the kind of betrayal that doesn't come with a dramatic flourish, just a quiet email chain I wasn't supposed to see. Mom's loaded, but she's controlling. My daughter Emily wrote to her husband's sister. "The villa's ours now. Let the old bat squirm." I stared at the screen in my Palo Alto office, the hum of servers in the background mocking my naivety. I'd given her everything, taken the fall for her mistakes, and this was how she repaid me? With a family of freeloaders turning my legacy into their crash pad? Emily was my miracle, born when I was barely 20, a single mom clawing my way from a waitress gig in Fresno to CEO of a tech startup that went public last year. Haley Thompson, that's me, didn't build an empire by being soft. But for her, I bent. When she got knocked up in college by that sleazy frat boy who bolted, I covered it all. The abortion she chickened out on, the whispers that followed her back to campus. I said it was a family medical procedure, shielded her from the campus rags headlines. "Mom's got this," I told her, even as the board eyed me sideways during funding rounds. Secrets like that? They bury you. But I dug for her. Fast forward a decade. Emily marries Jake Harlan, trust fund kid turned entrepreneur, who couldn't code his way out of a paper bag. Their wedding was my white flag, lavish, Napa Valley vineyard, the works. And the villa? That Spanish revival beauty in Santa Barbara I'd snapped up as an investment, renovated with ocean views and infinity pools? I deeded it to her on their first anniversary. "For your family," I said, hugging her tight. "Build something real here." Jake grinned like he'd won the lottery, but his eyes? Cold, calculating. I should have seen it then. The first sign was subtle. A weekend visit from his folks, the Harlans, Ed and Marlene, retired from some vague real estate scam in Phoenix. They overstayed by a month, helping with the nursery for the grandkid I was already spoiling rotten. Then came Jake's brother, Tyler, fresh off a divorce, couch surfing with his two brats. "Just till he gets on his feet," Emily texted, emojis masking the lie. By month 6, the villa was a Harlan homestead. Barbecues on my imported Italian tile patio, RVs parked on the driveway I'd paved with my bonus check. My calls went unanswered. Invites declined with excuses about family time. I drove up unannounced one crisp October morning, the Pacific glittering like it was in on the joke. The gate buzzed open, code unchanged, a rookie mistake, and there they were. Ed firing up the grill, Marlene barking orders at the grandkids chasing a drone through the bougainvillea. Emily waved from the kitchen window, apron smeared with what looked like Jake's failed hot sauce venture.
"Mom."
Surprise visit. Her smile was plastic, the kind you flash at in-laws you tolerate. Jake sauntered out, beer in hand at 10 a.m., clapping me on the back too hard. "Haley, join the party. We're turning this place into Harlan Central." His laugh grated, all teeth and no warmth. I bit my tongue, toward the upgrades, mismatched thrift store furniture crammed into rooms I designed for minimalism, a man cave in my library with neon beer signs flickering against teak shelves.
"It's
Lived in, I managed, stomach twisting. That night, over takeout tacos, because apparently my Sub-Zero fridge was now a community cooler, the truth slithered out. Tyler, 3 beers deep, slurred about how Jake had flipped the deed to include the whole family as co-owners. "Community property, baby." Emily signed off, "Your girl's a team player." My fork froze midair. Emily flushed, avoiding my eyes. "It was Jake's idea, Mom. For security. You know how volatile real estate is." Volatile? I'd bought that villa outright. No liens, no strings. Except the ones I'd cut for her sake. Back in her dorm days, when she OD'd on Adderall during finals, I paid off the dean, spun it as exhaustion. The board never knew. My stock vested anyway.
And now, this.
I left at dawn. the coastal fog swallowing my Tesla as I peeled out. Back in the office, fury fueled me. I hired a PI, discreet, ex-Fed, who dug up the dirt in 48 hours. Jake wasn't just mooching, he'd been siphoning my gift into his crypto Ponzi, using the villa as collateral for loans from shady Phoenix lenders. Emily? Complicit. Emails showed her signing off on everything, even laughing about sticking it to the Ice Queen. And the kicker. She'd known about my covering her assault charge from spring break, some lacrosse bro who walked because I paid his family to hush it. Mom's our get-out-of-jail card, she'd written. Betrayal isn't a word. It's a gut punch that leaves you wheezing. I paced my corner office, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the Bay Area sprawl I'd conquered. Part of me wanted to storm back, drag them out by their designer knockoffs. But Haley Thompson doesn't do tantrums. She does chess. And this board? Mine to flip. The plan crystallized over black coffee and case law. Eviction wasn't just legal, it was poetic. California tenant laws favored owners like me, especially with fraud in the mix. I lawyered up with the shark from my IPO, a woman who'd once bankrupted a rival CEO for less. Slam dunk, she purred, filing the notices. But controversy? That was the spice. Leaking just enough to the local Santa Barbara rag, anonymous tips about tech mogul evicting her own grandkids would stir the pot. Let the Harlans play victim. I'd play the villain who built the stage. Word spread like wildfire on Nextdoor. Heartless millionaire boots family from dream home. Comments poured in, family first versus boundaries matter. Emily called, sobbing. Mom, how could you? We're blood. I let the silence stretch. Blood doesn't rewrite deeds. You did that. Jake texted threats. You'll regret this, Haley. We've got dirt. As if I didn't know every skeleton in their closet. The hearing loomed, a powder keg in the county courthouse. I arrived early, power suit pressed, no jewelry to soften the edges. The gallery buzzed, reporters, busybodies, a few Harlan cousins I'd never met. Ed and Marlene sat ramrod straight, faces etched with righteous indignation. Tyler fidgeted with his phone, probably live-tweeting the injustice. Emily clutched little Mia, my granddaughter, whose wide eyes darted between us like she sensed the storm. The judge, a no-nonsense Latina with a gavel that cracked like thunder, called order. My lawyer laid it out, forged addendums, unauthorized occupancy, fraud on the title. Evidence projected on screens, emails, bank transfers, the PI's affidavits. Gasps rippled through the room. Jake's turn, a weepy monologue about blended families and American dreams deferred. He flipped the script, painting me as the absentee grandma hoarding wealth while they scraped by. Haley gave with one hand, took with the other. Is this the America we want? The gallery murmured agreement. A few clapped. Controversy crackled. Was I the monster or the martyr? Emily testified last, voice breaking. She gave me the villa to fix us, but it's never enough. I covered for her once, that boardroom affair she buried. Now she buries us. Lies, all of it. My affair was a fabricated smear from a jealous exec. I'd crushed it with NDAs. But doubt seated in the judge's furrowed brow, in the reporter's frantic typing. Recess hit like an intermission in a bad thriller. I slipped out for air, the courthouse steps a gauntlet of cameras. Miss Thompson, is family worth more than fortune? One shouted.
I pozad, mikin face.
Family's what you build, not what you bleed dry. Viral in minutes, like split-down party lines, conservatives cheering tough love, liberals decrying capitalist cruelty. Back inside, the verdict dropped. Eviction granted, effective immediately. But with a twist, the judge ordered mediation, 6 months rent abatement as good faith.
Fair?
Debatable. The Harlans howled. Jake lunged at the bench, restrained by bailiffs. Emily met my eyes across the aisle. Hatred, yes, but a flicker of the girl I'd saved. Or was it regret? Packing day arrived under a bruised Santa Barbara sky, thunder rumbling like the gods weighing in. Movers I'd hired, neutral pros, no drama, hauled boxes while I supervised from the driveway. arms crossed. The Harlans trickled out, Ed cursing under his breath, Marlene hissing prayers, Tyler towing his RV with a sneer. Karma's a bitch, Haley. Jake lingered, suitcases at his feet, Mia on his hip. You win this round. But Emily's done with you. For good. She emerged last, duffels slung over shoulders, face a storm cloud. Why, Mom? We could have talked. I stepped closer, voice low. Because you didn't. You let them in, rewrote my gift into their grift. I took the hits for you, your secrets, your screw-ups. This? It's me taking one back. Her laugh was bitter, wind-whipped. Secrets? Like the one you're about to learn. She thrust a thumb drive into my palm, cold metal biting skin. Jake wasn't the only schemer. Watch it. Then tell me who's the villain. I didn't watch it there, not with the caravan pulling away, taillights fading into the highway haze. Back in Palo Alto, alone with a bottle of Napa Cab and my laptop, I plugged it in. Footage grainy, time-stamped 6 months back. Emily in the villa's master bath, pacing, phone to ear. Yeah, it's done. Deed's clean, Mom's name scrubbed. The Harlans are in, she's out. My heart stuttered. Then the voice on the other end, mine. Wait, no. Deepfake. AI generated, my face mouthing words I'd never say. Good girl. Make it hurt. They deserve it. The call log matched one I'd made, innocent check-in but spliced with venom. Emily's eyes in the video gleamed with triumph. Now we own her empire. The twist hit like a freight train. Emily hadn't just betrayed me. She'd outplayed us all. The forged addendums? Her doing, framing Jake to split the family. The crypto siphon? Bait to force my hand. She'd leaked the story herself, positioning me as the heartless evictor while she lawyered up quietly, using the mediation window to contest the original deed on undue influence grounds, claiming I'd pressured her into silence about my affairs for the villa. I slammed the laptop, wineglass shattering against the wall. Genius. Twisted genius. My daughter, the monster I'd molded. But here's the gut-wrencher. Part of me admired it. She'd learned from the best, me, burying bodies for her sake. Now, the board whispered, stocks dipped on the Family Feud headlines. Eviction won the battle, but she'd scorched the earth. Weeks blurred into depositions, countersuits. Jake filed for divorce, custody war looming. The Harlans scattered, but not before Marlene slipped me a note. Emily's always been the snake. We were just the tail. Polarizing? Hell yes. Online forums exploded. Was I the abuser enabling a sociopath, or the victim of a daughter's calculated coup? Haley versus Emily trended, therapists booking out, think pieces debating generational trauma versus raw ambition. I fought back, of course, hired forensics to debunk the deep fake, rallied allies on the board. But in quiet moments, staring at Mia's photo on my desk, doubt crept. Had I created this? My gifts as control, my secrets as chains? The villa stood empty now, echoes haunting its halls, a monument to what we'd torched. Emily won partial custody, the judge citing grandmother's instability. I saw Mia on holidays, her tiny hand in mine a fragile truce. Emily? We don't speak, but her last email lingers. You taught me revenge, Mom. Class is over. Happy ending? Tragic? You decide.
Me?
I'm selling the villa, starting fresh in Tahoe. Some betrayals you evict. Others, you carry like ghosts. And in America, land of second chances, even villains get to rebuild. The Tahoe cabin smelled of pine and fresh starts, but ghosts don't unpack easy. 6 months post-eviction, and I'd traded stilettos for hiking boots, the villa sale funding a modest A-frame with views that stretched forever. No infinity pool, just a wood stove crackling against winter's bite. My therapist, mandatory board condition, called it reclamation. I called it hiding. But Haley Thompson doesn't hide, she strategizes. And strategy meant facing the mirror. Emily's coup wasn't random. It was revenge for the life I'd scripted. Flashback to her wedding toast, Napa sun dipping low. To Mom, who gave me wings and clipped a few. Laughter then. Now, it echoed accusation.
Ide klipat, alright.
Post-college, when she dreamed of Juilliard but settled for UCLA poli-sci because stability matters, I nudged, okay, shoved.
Artist starvi, eminência.
Build something solid. Solid like my code? I'd coded her applications, padded her resume with my connections. She graduated top tier, landed a Hill internship. But the spark? Faded. Then Jake. I vetted him like a merger. Background check cleanish, family colorful but connected. He's a keeper, I told her, ignoring the way his charm soured in private. On their honeymoon, my comped Maldives escape, he'd confessed a gambling Jones. She swore me to secrecy. Don't judge, Mom.
I didn't.
I paid off the markers, anonymous wire from an offshore account. Another secret stacked. The deepfake? Masterstroke. Forensics confirmed. My voice cloned from voicemails, face from Zoom calls. She'd hired a black hat coder in Eastern Europe, traced to a Bitcoin wallet I'd funneled through for her startup. Emily's pivot. From dutiful daughter to digital puppeteer. The mediation she'd weaponized. A stall to gather ammo. Witness statements from old friends claiming I'd alienated her since birth. Lies, mostly, but seeded with truth. My absences at recitals, birthdays blurred by late nights chasing unicorns. The custody hearing was round 2, Reno courthouse, a far cry from Santa Barbara's glamour. No cameras this time, Jake's gag order, but the stakes? Sky high. Mia, 3 now, with Emily's curls and my hazel eyes, doodled on legal pads while we lawyered. Emily entered like a storm, power bob haircut, blouse crisp as her alibis. Haley, she nodded, no, Mom. Professional poison. Her case, unfit grandma. Eviction trauma, scarring the kid. Exhibits included Mia's therapy drawings, squiggles labeled scary lady with papers. My rebuttal, psych evals, donor logs for Emily's causes, hell, the villa as legacy gift. But the deepfake clip played, edited to show me plotting against them.
See?
Enabling toxicity. The judge, a grizzled vet with custody war stories, leaned in. Miss Thompson, ever consider your role in this fracture? Role? I'd built bridges, scholarships, safeties. But fracture?
Yeah.
That spring break cover-up. The lacrosse bro, Chad, had roofied her. I paid his tuition to vanish him to grad school abroad. Justice is slow, I told her. This is fast. She nodded then, grateful. Now? You bought my silence, Mom. Like everything else. Adjournment dragged. I drove the pass at midnight, snow flurrying like confetti from hell. Pulled over at a lookout, engine idling, I scrolled old texts. Emily's love you, world's best mom from villa closing day. Deleted them all. Dawn brought clarity. Counterstrike. I reached out to Tyler, Black Sheep Harlan, nursing grudges in a Phoenix dive bar. She played you too, I emailed, attaching the drive's metadata. He bit, spilling Emily's lessons in crypto, promising him a cut if he'd stir the pot against Jake. Coalition formed. Unlikely, ugly. Tyler testified remotely, voice gravelly over video. She framed us all. Wanted the villa solo, then bail with the cash. Jake, post-divorce bitter, corroborated, swore affidavits on her gaslighting him into the loans. Even Marlene chimed in, Bible in lap. Girls got devil's tongue. But blood's blood. The Harlans, fractured family flipping sides again. Now my reluctant cavalry. Emily's camp splintered. Her lawyer motioned to withdraw, citing new evidence. The judge reconvened, gavel sharp. Custody joint, supervised visits expanded. And Ms. Harlan, Emily's married name, a barb. Perjury charges pending review. She stood, chin high, but eyes mine betrayed the crack. This isn't over, she whispered as we passed in the hall, Mia between us like a shield.
It was, though.
Or so I thought. Tahoe thawed into spring, Mia's visits a tentative rhythm. Pancakes at the cabin, hikes where she'd point at eagles and yell, Nana's birds. Emily dropped her off, silent exchanges in the driveway. One April afternoon, post-egg hunt, she lingered. Can we talk?
No lawyers.
We sat on the porch, mug steaming, like a mirror below. "I hated you," she started, voice raw. "For controlling. The secrets? They chained me. So I broke them your way. Revenge, her version. Dismantle my pedestal. Force me to see the strings. The deep fake? A mirror. What you do to me." Controversial calculus. Was she liberator or destroyer? I sipped, steady. "You broke us."
But Mia?
"She's the rewrite." "Truce? Not quite." She nodded, left with a hug that lingered. Weeks later, a package. Villa blueprints, annotated. "Sell it or reclaim. Your call." Inside a note. Twist. "I kept the deed, fight alive. Offshore trust. Yours if you forgive." Forgiveness? American as apple pie and grudges. Messy, conditional. But the real twist dropped in June. Boardroom ambush. My CFO, slick as ever, presented irregularities. Stock dips traced to insider trades. Signatures?
Mine forged.
Trail led to Emily. Not revenge, insurance. She'd shorted my company pre-feud, cashed out post headlines.
Milho.
For Mia's future, her confession email read, "You taught me. Protect your own." I fired the CFO, complicit, and clawed back what I could via SEC filings. Emily vanished to Portland. New start with a gallery gig. Art. Her buried dream. No charges. Blood's thicker than ink. Mia thrived, splitting time, calling us both warriors. Polarizing end. Villain redeemed? Or cycle unbroken? Forums still rage. Thompson legacy a meme war.
Me?
I kept the cabin, bought a vineyard sliver in Napa. Revenge isn't eviction. It's evolution. Emily visits now, wine in hand, toasts laced with barbs. To mothers who scar and save. We laugh, uneasy. In America, families aren't fairy tales. They're startups, pivots, and painful exits. And sometimes, the beta version's the best you'll get. Vineyard dirt under nails felt foreign, therapeutic. By fall, the Napa plot yielded its first Merlot harvest. Tart, bold, like the reconciliation I was forcing. Emily's future fund from the shorts? I'd frozen it legally, but let it thaw into a trust for Mia. College, no strings. Your move, my reply to her. Silence, then. Checkmate. She was in Portland, gallery walls lined with her abstracts, swirls of red and black, Family Fractures series. Sold out on opening night. Reviews called it visceral American Gothic. I attended incognito, ball cap low, mingling with hipsters who wouldn't know a tech titan from a barista. Her pieces hit like uppercuts. One, a villa gate ajar, shadows spilling out. Title, Evicted Echoes. Another, two women back to back, hands outstretched but not touching. Deeded betrayal. I bought the set anonymously, hung them in the cabin's great room. Therapy on canvas.
Jake resurfaced via drunken voicemail. Em spoisa, Aile.
Took the kid, my dignity, everything. Divorce finalized. He was couch surfing Tyler's garage, hawking hot sauce on Etsy. I sent a check, small, no pity. Get straight. For Mia. The Harlans? Marlene emailed Psalms. Ad hoc timeshares in my inbox. Loose ends, American style, frayed but functional. Board stabilized. My feud spun into a TED Talk. Resilience in the rearview. Standing ovations, book deals.
But nights?
Tahoe quiet amplified doubts. Was Emily's coup catharsis or curse? I'd borne her sins, the OD, the assault payout, even Jake's debts, thinking it love. Turns out it was leverage. She'd flipped it, made me the debtor. Controversial genius, in a nation of bootstraps, who'd pulled whose. Mia's 6th birthday bridged us. Portland party, balloon arch over the gallery, ironic venue. I flew in, gift a custom easel-etched, warrior in progress. Emily greeted me at the door, apron dusted with paint, not a trace of the courtroom ice. You came. No accusation, just fact. The cake-cutting blurred generations, Mia blowing candles, Jake awkward on the sidelines, Tyler toasting with cheap bubbly. Even Marlene FaceTimed blessings. As plates cleared, Emily pulled me aside, rooftop view of the Willamette glittering. The trust? Use it for you. Vineyard expansion, whatever. I overplayed. Her voice cracked, city lights fracturing in unshed tears. Overplayed, I echoed, wind hugging my scarf. You deep-faked your own mother. Laughter bubbled, shared, sharp.
Yeah.
But you deep-faked my life first, safety nets as snares. Truth serum, vintage us. We talked till dawn, her Juilliard ghosts, my Fresno scars, dad bailing pre-birth, mom waitressing doubles. Cycle, she said. We broke it ugly. Twist shadow loomed then. Mia, eavesdropping from the stairs, clutching a sketch pad. Nana? Mommy? Are you fighting again? Heart stop. Emily knelt, I mirrored.
No, bag. We're.
Editing the story.
Mia beamed, crayon in fist.
Can I draw the happy end? She did. Villa not evicted, but shared. Figures dancing on the lawn, no shadows. Child's logic, purest revenge. Rewrite without ruin. Emily and I framed it, hung beside the abstracts. Polarizing?
Still.
Jake grumbled, co-parenting cult. Online sleuths unearthed the shorts, dubbing her Wolf of Willamette. But Mia's metric? Smiles per visit up 100%. Tahoe called me back, but Napa pulled. Roots deepening. Emily visited for crush, stomping grapes like kids, wines staining our laughs. Forgive. I asked one dusk, shears pruning vines. Working on it, she grinned. You.
Same.
America doesn't do absolutes, red states, blue coasts, gray families. Our end? Open source, happy in patches, tragic in echoes. Last hook, a letter from Chad, the lacrosse ghost, postmarked Europe. Heard about the drama. Oh, you, paid my way, saved my skin. Enclosing check, principal plus. Enough for Mia's first gallery show. Emily read it aloud, us on the porch, sunset bleeding gold. Karma closes loops. Or starts new ones. I poured Merlot, our label, fractured vines. To betrayals born, revenges wrought, and daughters who dare you to evolve. In the land of the free, some chains you forge, others you vintage into strength. And if the twist is we both win, that's the American dream, contentious, corked, and corking it ever after.